Hey mates, good morning. It is Wednesday, December 8th, 2021, and I'm actually not going to quite reveal yet where I am, but let's just say that it's a well-known destination located in Sarasota, Florida. And I'm actually on my way to a very well-known site at this park. But I'm not going to mention it quite yet. So, what I'm walking through right now, you're seeing a great example of something called a dry prairie. So, really the name is quite descriptive. So, that means, with it being a dry prairie, that means there's really not much moisture in the soil. And usually, such a habitat is described as a xeric setting. Xeric. So that's just another fancy way of saying that it's a dry type of habitat. And you may be wondering, like, why is it so dry? Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we're walking on top of sandy soil and it's practically well drained. So with that being said, there's really no chance for rain water to really linger that long. And essentially where we are standing, we're a little more upland. So that basically means we're standing on a slightly higher topography than that of the sea level. And we're slightly further away from the particular river that is nearby. Gosh, this is hard. It's hard to not really say where I am. All I could say is that I'm near Sarasota. Now, oftentimes in a dry prairie, that's where you'll start to see more of your dry, tolerant plants. So what you're seeing, like a bunch of these shrubs right here, these are some species of Lyonia. And not only that, but you're also seeing some Gallberry, also known as Inkberry, which I've actually done a video on this particular plant before. Just keep in mind though that the gallberry is inedible. It's poisonous. It's not safe for us. However, though, it has been used in other decoctions once it's been boiled and treated, but you can't eat it raw. It's unsafe. And you may also find some saw palmetto as well. And I think, as I can recall, the particular grass that you're seeing right here, that kind of has like that whitish glaze, I think it actually goes by a particular name of chalkgrass, something of the sort. Don't quote on me. But sometimes, if you're lucky enough, if you rub your fingers against chalkgrass, you'll have sort of like a chalky texture on your fingers, and that is hence the name. But you could say this is like one of the first steps to succession, which refers to a change in a landscape over time. And the thing is, you don't really see many dry prairies anymore in Florida. It only encompasses maybe between 1% to 3%. That's it. And usually the burns, prescribed burns, typically happen every 1 to 2 years. That's how frequent it happens. And you can definitely tell, seeing that there really isn't as much growth. Now, there is some controversy that does surround how often a prescribed burn that happens. You know, some people believe it should be longer than that between a burn, or some believe it should be every 1 to 2 years in a dry prairie. But state parks, usually most of the time, they follow a particular SOP, which I like to describe that as SOP, or standard operating procedure. That is a thing. But yeah. Kind of reminds me of my home state of Ohio a little bit. You know, just seeing this prairie right here. But the reason why we should care about these types of habitats is given the fact that they still serve as a great nursery for our birds, especially migratory, to be specific. And dry prairies usually encompass some of the most fertile soil in a given area. And most of these plants usually have very deeply established roots. So that's why after a prescribed burn, they're able to revive so quickly. So, all right, you guys, take care and stay tuned for more videos coming up. All right, take care, you guys.